Of innovators and peacekeepers, of force, that not only defends, but also strengthens the unity and integrity of our nation. For over a century, the Eastern Command of the Indian Army has stood as a sentinel safeguarding the nation's eastern borders.
Established in the heart of Kolkata, Vijay Durg, this command is not just a strategic military formation, but a symbol of India's indomitable spirit and resilience.
The inception of Eastern Command traces back to 1920. The Eastern Command was headquartered at Nainital and operated from Lucknow in winters. During World War II, Eastern Command played a pivotal role in the Burma campaign, where soldiers showcased unmatched courage, forging bonds with the cause of freedom. In 1962, Eastern Command defended India's crucial Indo-China borders, valiantly holding Vallon, inflicting heavy casualties on Chinese forces.
भाइयों बहनों साथियों और हम वतनों हमारे सीमा पर जबरदस्त हमले चीन के किए.
By 1967, it further demonstrated its resilience during the clashes at Nathula and Chola, repelling PLA attacks despite numerical disadvantages, proving the unwavering strength and strategic importance in safeguarding India's sovereignty. Battle-tested, forged in the fires of the 1971 Indo-Pak War. This command was instrumental in the liberation of Bangladesh, scripting one of the greatest military victories in modern history. East Pakistan faced linguistic, cultural, and economic disparities, sparking the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. India, under Indira Gandhi, launched a diplomatic campaign, but after limited global response, provided military and logistical support to the provisional Bangladesh government, ensuring its independence. In 1971, East Pakistan's demand for independence, led by the Awami League, escalated into brutal repression by the Pakistani army, sparking a humanitarian crisis. As global silence persisted, Eastern Command, led by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, under Army Chief General SHFJ Manekshaw, launched a complex military campaign. With diplomacy failing and Pakistan's crackdown ongoing, India acted decisively.
The Indian objective is to relieve Dhaka as quickly as possible. The strategy to strike simultaneously from all directions, isolating and outflanking the heavily fortified Pakistani positions in major towns and garrisons.
The preparation involved close cooperation with the Mukti Bahani intelligence gathering and the deployment of specialized units. As operations began, Eastern Command used a combination of air superiority, ground forces, and riverine assaults to cut off key supply lines and surround the enemy. The overall plan involved orchestration of forces with 33 Corps under Lieutenant General M.L. Kapan, 2 Corps under Lieutenant General T.N. Raina, 4 Corps under Lieutenant General Sadat Singh, and 101 Communication Zone under Major General G.S. Nagar. Battle of Jessore. The Battle of Jessore, a pivotal engagement in the 1971 Indo-Pak War, marked one of India's first major successes. Indian forces, using artillery bombardments and strategic flanking maneuvers, encircled a heavily fortified town, cutting off Pakistani supply lines. On December 6, 1971, the Pakistani garrison retreated, leaving Jessore under Indian control. Battle of Hilli. The Battle of Hilli, one of the longest and bloodiest engagements of the 1971 Indo-Pak War, showcased exceptional determination by Indian forces. Despite fierce resistance and heavily fortified defenses, Indian troops outflanked Hilli, cutting off Pakistani reinforcements. Eventually, the Pakistani forces withdrew after suffering heavy losses, opening the path to Bogra. The Battle of Bogra was a critical engagement during the 1971 Indo-Pak War, securing a major communication hub in north-central East Pakistan. Indian forces launched a coordinated assault featuring significant tank warfare to encircle and overpower Pakistani defenses. The victory isolated northern Pakistani forces, hastening their collapse and paving the way to Dhaka. Tangale Airdrop. The Indian 2nd Battalion Parachute Regiment conducted a rare, large-scale airborne assault, securing the area with precision. A swift link-up with ground forces ensured a decisive victory, showcasing India's expertise in complex airborne maneuvers. It was one of the largest airborne operations since Second World War. The Battle of Sylhet was a pivotal engagement, with a helicopter fleet of 14 Mi-4 undertaking 110 sorties over Meghna River, across which all approaches to Dhaka were opened. With Siege of Sylhet, the race to Dhaka began, demonstrating unprecedented sacrifice and courage. Indian Navy and Indian Air Force. Operation Trident and Operation Python, led by the Indian Navy, dealt decisive blows to Pakistan's naval forces, crippling its fleet and Karachi's port. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force dominated the skies with strategic bombing missions, air superiority, and close support for ground troops, playing a pivotal role in India's swift victory. The Eastern Command's precision-led campaign culminated in the fall of Dhaka, the heart of East Pakistan. Surrounded from all sides, the Pakistani forces had no choice but to surrender. On the 16th of December 1971, the Eastern Command stood victorious as Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi of Pakistan signed the instrument of surrender, marking the birth of a new nation, Bangladesh. General J.F.R. Jacob played a pivotal role in the 1971 Indo-Pak War by drafting the instrument of surrender that led to Pakistan's unconditional capitulation. It was a victory of justice, freedom, and humanity. The streets of India were filled with joyous celebrations as the Indian Army returned home with their heads held high. Bangladesh was free, and the Eastern Command had scripted one of the greatest military victories in history. The era post-1971 saw Eastern Command transitioning to focus towards combating rising insurgents, border security, and disaster response across sensitive northeastern region. The Eastern Command had evolved from a battle-hardened force into a technologically advanced guardian of India's eastern frontier. With modernized equipment and cutting-edge technology, the soldiers of today are prepared for the challenges of tomorrow. From drone surveillance to secure communication networks, technology has transformed Eastern Command's ability to safeguard the nation. Eastern Command operates in some of the most difficult and strategically vital terrains in the country. The Eastern Command's commitment to innovation extends to the use of niche technologies specifically designed for mountain warfare, riverine operations, and counterinsurgency missions. These advancements ensure that the command remains prepared for any challenge from the highest peaks to the deepest rivers. Preparedness is at the core of Eastern Command's mission. Through relentless training in extreme conditions, from the high altitude passes of Sikkim to the dense jungles of Mizoram, the soldiers of Eastern Command are always ready to respond to any threat, anywhere, anytime. Eastern Command's role extends beyond the battlefield as the first responders in times of disaster, providing humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. The soldiers of Eastern Command are trained to bring hope and relief to the people of this region when nature strikes. The Eastern Command, under the leadership of its esteemed army commanders, has consistently achieved operational excellence while promoting sports and fostering community engagement. Soldiers from the Eastern Command frequently represent the army in prestigious tournaments like the National Games, Asian Games, and even the Olympics. The Durand Cup, Asia's oldest football tournament, is hosted by the Eastern Command with pride. It showcases India's best football teams and nurtures talent at the grassroots level. In the service of their nation, they gave their tomorrow for our today. Their courage, honor, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. We remember those who fought in 1971 and all the brave hearts who continue to defend our nation, standing tall as the protectors of India's eastern borders. As we honor the brave souls who laid down their lives for our country, we are reminded of the enduring legacy of Eastern Command, a legacy built on sacrifice, courage, and an unshakable duty to protect the nation's sovereignty. The journey of Eastern Command stands as a testament of being forever in operations. From being committed since inception and etching its legacy in the pages of history, to transforming into a future-ready force, evolving with cutting-edge technology to combat multi-domain operations, Eastern Command remains a sentinel of Bharat's sovereignty, ever prepared to defend the nation and shape a secure future for generations to come.
Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command. I, Captain Manish Kumar, would like to welcome our friends from media to this curtain raiser media interaction as part of Vijay Diwas celebration, which is being conducted by Headquarters Eastern Command. In December 1971, India undertook a swift and decisive military action that changed the course of history. In just 13 days, the valor and joint resolve of the Indian Armed Forces led to the liberation of Bangladesh and the largest military surrender since World War II. Vijay Diwas commemorates this triumph of courage, sacrifice and honor by paying tribute to all who served the nation in Spanish era. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor their legacy and relate this historic victory, we now present a special Vijay Diwas video highlighting the contributions of the Eastern Command in ensuring the sovereignty of the nation for more than a century. The solemn wreath-laying ceremony, a multi-display military tattoo show is also planned on Major General Guru Raghu, Sena Medal, Vishisht Seva Medal, Major General, General Staff, Headquarters Eastern Command. Major General Guru Raghu assumed the appointment of Major General, General Staff, Headquarters Eastern Command on 25th of June 2025. An alumnus of National Defence Academy and Indian Military Academy, the General Officer was commissioned into Corps of Signals on 19th of December 1992. He has attended the prestigious Defence Services Staff College at Wellington and Higher Defence Management course at Secunderabad. In his 32 years of illustrious service, he has generated various important command and staff appointments. The General Officer has been a Brigade Major of Infantry Brigade, Additional Military Secretary at Military Secretariat, and Colonel GS of the formation along the northern border. The General Officer has commanded a frontline mountain brigade in challenging terrain on the line of actual control, tenanted the appointment of Brigadier PNM at Army Headquarters, and commanded a mountain division along the northern borders. The General Officer was awarded Sena Medal Distinguished, Vishisht Seva Medal, Chief of Army Staff Commendation Card, and General Officer Commanding in Chief Southern Command Commendation Card. I now would like to invite Major General Manguru Raghu, Major General General Staff, Headquarters Eastern Command, to deliver the keynote address.
Jai Hind. And on behalf of the Army Commander, I welcome you all to JITENDTA. You have already been witness to the bike rally which had taken place in the morning, and after that we had organized a small historical tour of JITENDTA, and I hope you are all very comfortable here in this auditorium. On this momentous occasion of the 54th Vijay Divas, I extend a warm welcome to the distinguished members of the media fraternity. On behalf of the Army Commander, Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari, Uttar Vyuth Seva Medal, Atay Vishish Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command. Precisely 54 years ago, at this very hour, on 7th of December 1971, the Indian Army was engaged in intense combat operations along the Indo-East Pakistan border, particularly in the Hilli and the Jessore sectors. The Mukti Bahani seamlessly integrated into these operations with unwavering support from the Indian Army, provided critical intelligence, exceptional operational coordination, and logistical assistance, culminating in comprehensive defeat of the enemy forces. The partition of the Indian subcontinent in 1947, which gave rise to West and East Pakistan, regrettably disregarded fundamental national attributes including geography, culture, and linguistic identity. From inception, the people of East Pakistan were systematically marginalized by the Western counterparts who sought to impose their culture and language upon the predominantly Bengali population. The West Pakistan authorities' refusal to honor the popular mandate of 1970 elections precipitated a chain of events leading to the emergence of a sovereign nation. Deprived of equitable governmental representation, freedom of expression, and meaningful economic progress, the people of East Pakistan rightfully sought parity through peaceful demonstrations. The Pakistan Army responded with unprecedented brutality and atrocities against the innocent Bengalis. Operation Searchlight, launched by the Pakistan Army, in which thousands of Bengali nationalists were massacred and imprisoned, marked the decisive turning point. These repressive measures galvanized the Bengali populace in their determined struggle for liberation from the ever-growing Pakistani oppression. Amid escalating violence, vast numbers fled East Pakistan, seeking refuge in India, which extended comprehensive humanitarian assistance to all of them. It is well known that on 3rd of December 1971, Pakistan initiated preemptive airstrikes against our nation, compelling India's entry into a full-scale conflict. Responding decisively to this unprovoked aggression, India launched a coordinated, multi-pronged offensive against Pakistan. In the Eastern Theatre, working in concert with the valiant Mukti Jodhas and East Pakistan's civilian population, the swift and resolute Indian advance compelled a rapid capitulation of the Pakistani forces. This extraordinary accomplishment exemplified India's national resolve and steadfast commitment to supporting friends and neighbors. Within a remarkable 13 days, Dhaka was liberated by the Indian forces with crucial Mukti Jodha support. Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi, commanding over 93,000 Pakistani troops, formally surrendered to Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command. Furthermore, through astute diplomatic efforts, the Government of India secured the release of Bangla Bandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from Pakistani custody, who assumed the office of Bangladesh's first Prime Minister on 25th January 1972. Consistent with the national ethos, Indian Army units commenced withdrawal from Bangladesh in January 1972, with the final contingent departing Bangladesh in March 1972. Our two nations share profound historical and cultural bonds, and our defense forces have sustained cordial relations through numerous joint exercises and training programs over the year. At Vijaydur, we take immense pride in Eastern Command's pivotal role at the forefront of this historic campaign against West Pakistan's oppressive regime. It is therefore most appropriate that this epochal victory is commemorated with a befitting solemnity at this very headquarters. Eastern Command has organized an extensive series of events, including interactions with the Mukti Jodhas and our own war veteran, a military tattoo being graced by the Honorable Governor of Mizoram and the Chief of Defence Staff, and a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at Vijay Smarak by the Governor of West Bengal. We have already shared the schedule of events with you so that the veterans' invaluable experiences reach the younger generation. Further, a 3-month-long series of posts featuring this day, that year, and Shaurya Gatha narrative by veterans of the heroic 1971 war has also been disseminated through official X account of Headquarters Eastern Command on a daily basis. I urge you all to follow the official handle to get authentic information on these various issues. The Vijay Bike Rally 2025 was also organized, symbolizing honor, solidarity, and Eastern Command's indomitable spirit. Riders representing all formations traversed over 1300 kilometers across the northeastern states, rendering solemn tributes to our brave hearts at various war memorials en route. In conclusion, I earnestly request the media's cooperation in disseminating awareness of this historic triumph among the populace and encouraging widespread participation in this year's commemoration. We seek your esteemed platforms, newspapers, and television channels to publicize these celebrations effectively. Dedicated press enclosures have been arranged for all functions, with comprehensive details being provided separately. We anticipate and hope your continued meaningful and constructive engagement with all of you in the near future. I have finished with my keynote address now, and just to put some other things in perspective, the Eastern Command manages approximately 53% of India's land borders. We have borders with approximately 5 countries, taking about half of Nepal into account, and in addition, constantly maintaining vigil along the line of actual control on the India-Chinese border, also along the Indo-Myanmar border, the Indo-Bhutan border, the India-Bangladesh border, and the Indo-Nepal border. This is one of the biggest land frontiers which the Indian Army and the Indian nation has with all the countries, with lots of challenges, as was brought out in the movie, as far as terrain is concerned, ranging from heights above 20,000 feet to the jungles, to riverine terrain, all along the greater Himalayan mountains. And on this event and the run up to the celebrations of Vijay Diwas 2025, I hope and I humbly request each and every one of the media persons here to contribute to increasing awareness of Eastern Command's challenges, our role, our duty in nation building, as well as to maintain the sovereignty of the nation. I assure all of you that all possible assistance will be provided to each and every one of you through our team of officers who are there in the IW branch here, headed by Brigadier Aditya Sahai, whom all of you must be fully conversant with. And if there is anything we can do for you at any point of time, even in subsequent times to come, we will be more than welcome, and we will extend all our possible cooperation to each and every one of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.